the High Now. Joining us here in the studio is Tony Vericella, speaking today on behalf of Alzheimer's Caregiving and the Caregivers. And you know, Tony, previously you were here, we're talking about everyday daily habits. We talked eating and meals, sharing meals together, and today we're talking about clothing.
Absolutely. And here's another thing where, you know, just like everything else we've talked about in all the segments, you have to just keep evolving and adapting, and you got to be quick on your feet as to figuring out what's going to really work. And as time goes on and your loved one goes through different stages, their capability of picking and choosing their clothes, getting it on and off, you know, getting in and out of places that you need to go, it just becomes more complicated. So initially we started off with lots of signage. All the drawers were labeled, everything hanging in the closet was matched up, so real easy for my wife to pick and choose what she was going to wear that day. You know, everything from you know, blouses and pants to socks and underwear and a whole bit. But as time moved on, even though everything was labeled, you know, this meant nothing really. It just wasn't registering in her. So we needed to start finding other ways. So we started then hanging things in the closet, forgetting the drawers. We started to decide, hey, if we're really not going to use these clothes, let's donate them or sell them, whatever your case happens to be, so we can reduce the choices. Because too many options is adding to confusion.
Overwhelming.
Overwhelming. So the whole idea was, let's narrow it down, still have like a category to pick from. When we discovered this one brand called Silverts, it's an adaptive clothing and footwear company. It really changed, you know, our life, daily life, because what it enabled us to do is pick and choose things that were so much easier to get on and off. And before I get into more of the Silverts stuff, even you start with the basics. In my wife's case, you know, underwear. Of course, you started with normal panties, and then we had to go to a brand called Knix, K-N-I-X, which is phenomenal, very absorbent, so for minor accidents. And then when that wasn't really able to do the job, we found, we tried a lot of different types of, you know, versions of Depends, so to speak. And the one that we really found that worked best was called Always Discreet. Looked nicer, felt better, took a lot of liquids and so on, and much easier. Easy to come on and off. I mean, it's still a battle most of the time doing this, but that's easier. Because the buttons were very difficult to put her arms in things, button it down. She would then play with the buttons and pull them off, and it just wasn't working. Same with pants. No ties, no zippers, no buttons. There are things that are easy to get on and off, you know, sweatpants, capris, depending on your climate. And Silverts also has pants that have snaps in the back or all on the side. So you never have to have a person step into them. We haven't quite, you know, figured those out yet.
And then how important is it that when it comes to the tops with blouses and such, that you're not going over the head? You can't
really put her arms in there in a normal fashion. That's why it kind of slides on from the front. But what we learned is, again, not putting the jacket on in the traditional sense. We get jackets that are a little larger, and we'll just drape them over her from the back so it still keeps her warm. And then what happens is, you know, they want to, you know, grab things and hold on to stuff, so she'll use the sleeves for picking up things. She'll use it to clean stuff, or just to hold on to and kind of play with. I mean, it really becomes like a little bit of a tool for her. All these are things that are going to make, you know, your life a whole lot easier in terms of this daily life, because it can become quite difficult to live it every single day.
Well, thank you so much for the information. Thanks for coming in today. And for more information about the Alzheimer's Caregiving and the Caregivers, head to our website as well, highnowdaily.com.